welcome back to another video. Bradford City 0, Stockport County 0. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Is it a good point or is it 2 points dropped again from City? Back-to-back 0-0 draws, two understandable draws. Obviously last week we were down to 10 men, and then this week we're playing against the most informed, the informed team in the league. The one they've been on is really good. And we managed to conserve them. We didn't let them score. They had a few really good chances that they should have took, to be fair. The Harry Lewis header save, stands out as a really good chance they should have took. And they had a few more. But I think we were really resilient. I thought midfield were better. We controlled the way that they played. I think in the midfield, Gilead, Smallwood, Clayton had a good debut, but Smallwood and Gilead had the licence to press a bit and be a bit tenacious. So I thought that combination of midfield three helped. I think in the number 10 position where Isa played, it looks to me as square peg in round hole with Isa in number 10. He don't really know where to be. He's a good player playing in the wrong position. We missed Chapman, Banks, Walker today. A player who would get on the ball, turn and gain a pocket of space and really try and create a chance. I think obviously Chapman ain't got the end product, but what he has got is the skill, the flair, the technique, to swivel and turn and get the ball into good areas, and then if it don't quite come off, there's a chance being created there. And we didn't create enough chances today. I think we had like 2 shots, which ain't good enough. But looking at the league table, somehow we're still 7th. We still managed to stay in and around the playoffs. 41 points we're on. I think we've got Mansfield next at home, who drew today. We're still 6 points off Northampton. I don't think they played today, but it's a good point. I think I'm seeing a lot of negativity around today's game and the point, but I think we defended well and we stopped them having some really good attacks. And like I said, they're the most informed team in the league, and to stop them from scoring away from home, it's a point that you take and you move on to the next one. The only problem is our next one is against Mansfield, and it's not this Saturday, it's the Saturday after. So again, we've got a week and a half, to wait for another game. We need games to come quick and fast. We need to get some momentum. Hopefully these next 6 games, 7 games don't get called off, because we need to get that momentum. We need to get playing games. You saw a few players who looked a bit rusty. Bowler, a player who struggled on his debut. He really didn't look sharp at all, making a few stupid mistakes. Critchlow had a good game, but again, we're making a few mistakes that I don't think he would have if he had a load of games in him. But yeah, like I say, it's a good point. But the only worrying thing is I'm looking at the previous seasons. That last season you needed 22 wins to come 7th, 77 points, and even 8th Sutton had 22 wins. And to come 3rd, you had to have 23 wins, even to win the league 23. So we're really tight. I think this season it'll be tight again. Obviously, Leyton Orient, Stevenage, they're closing in on those 22, 23 wins. We need another 11 or 12 wins for that, and our fixtures coming up, our arts are great. And I think, counting the must wins, Colchester's a must win, Newport's a must win, Hartlepool's a must win, Crewe's a must win, Grimsby, Crawley, they're must wins, Rochdale's a must win. That's 7. We've got 7 games that are must wins, and then you've got some big games that we've got to be picking up points on against. Walsall, we've got Tranmere coming up, Gillingham twice, who they've signed some good players and they're looking like they could get a bit of momentum. Doncaster, could they pull towards us? We've got them coming up. Barrow, Mansfield, Stevenage, Tranmere, all in a row. So we've got some big games coming up. We need to get some big points against them, and then them 7 must wins. We need to get the wins against them to try and really elevate us, and to try and not kickstart our season, but to really get the ball rolling. Because we've had some big games cancelled and rescheduled. But today I saw more positives than negative, to be honest with you. I saw a team that, showed experience. For the first time this season, I look at Clayton, he looked to be quite controlling in the midfield. got into some good challenges, and like I say, Gilead and Smallwood then had the licence to go and press a bit more, and they got into some good tackles as well. So and then Derbyshire came on, showed a bit of experience, winning a few fouls, Oliver winning free kicks. The only problem I see in the team is height, and I see a lot of criticism towards the fact that we go all in defensively on corners. There's no one left up, to aim for if we don't win the corner, the header and clear it out. But that's because we have such a small squad. We don't put a lot of crosses in. We don't put a lot of crosses in from corners or free kicks. We try and take it short because we don't have a big squad. And I think that is another reason as to why Cook isn't playing and Oliver is, because he's got that additional height to help out defensively from corners and free kicks and going forward. Because Critchlow, I'd say, is around 6 foot, 6'1". I wouldn't say he's the biggest at all, and I'd say Platt's around 6'2", 6'1" as well. On the bench, the Cena's not big. Songo, he looks physically quite big, but I don't think he's that tall. Same with Issa, same with Talaji Bowler. They look quite big, but they're not height-wise not that big either. So that's an area where I think we'll struggle in, and we have struggled in of late. So yeah, I think we've got some must-win games coming up in the run into the end of the season. We've got 20 games left, and we've got to win 11 or 12. I think 12 or 13, sorry, and I think it is doable to do that. We need to go on a good run, and a good point here against one of the best teams in the league. I think it's something you can build foundations off with, back-to-back clean sheets as well. It shows that we can dig in deep, defend as a unit and a team. Digging in deep when you've got 10 men to get some out of that game, that's a big positive. Again, like I say, I reiterate that we're playing against the best team in the league at this moment in time in terms of form, and we've denied them from going level with us on points and us dropping out the playoffs again, and we've got another clean sheet. And we're going to the game at home on Saturday, back-to-back clean sheets, defending well as a unit. Then we just need to get Walker back, maybe Chapman and Barnes, maybe Chapman and Banks will be back, and then we can try and express ourselves going forward a bit more and try and create a few more chances. Because we didn't today. We had one shot on target, so did they, but we only had 5 shots to their 12. We had a bit more possession, but not a load. But yeah, on to the player ratings. I've been talking a while now. We played the 4-3-1-2, the Diamond 4, the Diamond 2. Sorry, Lewis in goal. He's got to get a 7 again. Clean sheet. Made a big save towards the end. He made a really good save low to his left. And then obviously the big save with his head, which were one of the moments of the game, especially one of the moments of the game were probably Mark Hughes having a bit of a banter with the Stockport fans. But yeah, Lewis again saved us again, and another clean sheet for us. And like I say, we can build foundations with that defence. Halliday, I thought, had a good game. I'll give him a 7 as well. Seemed to get forward a bit more, which obviously he struggles to. But defensively, I thought, he's solid defensively, Halliday, and I thought he had a good game again. And that partnership down at right side with Platt is improving in these last 2 games, and I think Platt probably gets man of match for Platt. 7, won a lot of headers to say that we are a big team, and he stood up to that challenge and challenged was it Wotton? Carl Wotton. That was his man, it seemed, and he challenged him to a lot of headers, won a few battles with him, and I thought he stood up to him really well. So yeah, man of match for Platt, gets a 7. Critchlow, I'd go 6.5 if I could, because I don't want to give him the same score as Platt, because I thought he made a few more mistakes than Platt. So I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 7, a generous 7, because we did get that clean sheet. But yeah, I think he can improve. Critchlow's had much better games, but he won't poor really. I think he just made a few more mistakes and wasn't as good as Platt. Talaji, bowler, left back, debut. Because it's his debut, I'll be a bit generous and give him a 5. I think others will, and comments will probably correct me and say he were terrible and he should be given lower than that. So tell me your player ratings in the comments down below. I thought the signs to his play that he's good. He gets on the ball and he looks forward. Forward stint, he'd take a touch and maybe have a one and then go back and play it back to Critchlow. Talaji, especially as the game grew on, he looked to trying to cause a bit more of an impact going forward, and I think he could be a player who does end up being quite good for us, obviously on loan. But I thought he was just rusty today, and I'm giving a 5 because it's his debut. Looks rusty. He gets a week and a half off, which is good for him. Gets more training, gets to know the players a bit more. One of the instances where it actually works well this week and a half off for us, and hopefully has a better home debut than today. Clayton in midfield, 7. I thought he had a good debut again. We're quite vocal. It looked control the ball really well. He slotted in as a bit of a centre back as well, and he helped Smallwood and Gilead go forward and press. So I thought it was a really good performance from Clayton. He showed his experience as well. So yeah, like I say, in my reaction to him signing, pretty much. Hopefully, he proves me wrong to what I said. But yeah, I thought today were a really good sign of a really good leader, and hopefully he can continue it. Like I said, in that next game, a week and a half, we've got to wait for it. Smallwood gets a 7 as well. I thought he was good. He had licence to go forward a bit more and press when we haven't got the ball. Got into a few tackles, won them really well. Obviously got booked, and I thought that showed a bit of experience as well. Went in, had a bit of afters, said something to him, and then went off and got a booking. But I think Smallwood can improve on that performance going forward. I think he always lacks that, and he ain't that player who can go forward and make an impact on the game. And that's what I mean. When we get Walker back, when we get Chapman back, that'll be the bridge to that solid midfield that we've got. And yeah, hopefully we get them back soon, because Gilead gets a 7. He had a good game, but he ain't going to be that player who can create for us. He'll carry the ball forward, he'll press, he'll go into challenges. He's quite tenacious, but he ain't going to really create much chances. And when we get that number 10 back, yeah, I think that can give us a bit more creativity in that final third. Costello, I thought he had a poor game, sort of rotating with Isu up front. Yeah, 6 for him. He could have been given a 5, but a positive draw. That final third, again, like I keep saying, get that number 10 back, whether it's Walker, Banks or Chapman. They'll create more and we'll get more chances out of them. Costello, he needs a few more games, I think. I don't want to judge him just yet. Only 2 games in, but he's struggled so far, and he's struggled to create chances or really get into the game. He's been a bit of a ghost. Dyser gets a 6 as well. Same with him, but I think he's not playing in his position. Striker in his position. He's a left winger who wants to cut inside, get him behind with pace, and get a shot off. I think he would be a really good player, and probably the best player for most teams in and around us, but we can't get the best out of him, I don't think. And I think if we played Derbyshire with Oliver, it'd work better, maybe even Nevers, give him a run out up there. But Derbyshire came on and looked really good and promising, and hopefully he can form a good partnership with whoever he comes on to replace or starts in front of. So yeah, I think Isa gets a 6. He was quite poor today, but again, I don't think it's necessarily his fault playing in not his preferred position. Oliver gets a 7. Again, I know there's a lot of division around Oliver and Cook. We'll see what happens by the time we play our next game. There's rumours now he could be going to Salford, with Hendry at their striker heading towards Tranmere. We'll see if there's out in that. I think Cook and Hughes get on, but to leave it so late to bring Hughes on 80 plus minute, I think that's a bit, there's not good signs from that. I think Oliver was showing signs that he should be coming off 72nd, 73rd minute. He was getting a bit tired then. They give him something to give him a bit more energy as well. So I think Oliver's a good player, and to be rotated with Cook's a good thing for us to have. But yeah, I don't know. I think obviously some fans like you may think Cook should be starting. Tell me in the comments down below. I might do a video on it maybe Friday. But I do like Oliver. His presence is really good. Won a few free kicks. Brings other players into a game. But Cook's a good alternative to him, and it'd be good if we could try and use them both in the same team. Whether that would work, I don't know. Let me know if you think it would. But yeah, we don't seem to get enough crosses in for that to be effective. And I think that's another worrying sign, that we don't get enough crosses into a box and really challenge teams with it. But like I say, I think that could be due to our height. and not having a real height advantage to teams like Stockport and Stevenage and other teams around us who, are a bigger physical team than us. But yeah, player ratings done. Let me know yours in the comments down below. I'll go back and say it is a good point against probably the most informed team in the league. And, a very solid Stockport side who I think will be up there towards the end of the season. That leaves us in 7th still. I don't know how we're still there, 6 points behind Northampton. So there's potential to go on a good run. I've talked about our next few fixtures. We've got to take points against those teams around us, and then there's them 7 winnable games. But massive game for us. We need to go and win those. And I'm confident that we can finish in the top 7. With the fixtures we've got. I do fancy us to get some points against the teams around us, and then to beat them 7. It's just whether the players can handle the pressure of those big games that Valley Parade towards the end of the season. Because we haven't been good at home, and it's on the players to step up now. But yeah, 2 positive games, I'd say. 10 men, 2 clean sheets. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below after a 0-0 draw to Stockport. Have a good one.